This is the Water Quality Association podcast. And Ryan, can you also see this as a strategic tool to look forward in terms of your planning?
When you go through these details, you can kind of see where you may be weak, where you may be strong as a company, and you can set goals for yourself to kind of improve in those weak areas. How do I maintain my strength in other areas?
That's Ryan Shanahan with Sharpwater Culligan discussing the WQA Business Operations Report. And welcome to the weekly podcast from the Water Quality Association, the leading voice of the residential, commercial, and industrial water treatment community. I'm Wes Bleed. This episode is brought to you by Coral Protec powered anode rods for water heaters. With a 20-year warranty, Coral Protec eliminates sulfur smell in hot water within 24 hours and prevents tank corrosion without any maintenance. A must-have for homes with softened water. Enjoy hassle-free hot water with Coral Protec. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss a show. We'd love for you to check out our podcasts on YouTube. In this episode, we'll dive into the world of business insights with WQA's Business Operations Report. This powerful tool is transforming how water quality dealers understand and enhance their business performance. We'll talk with Ryan Shanahan from Sharpwater Culligan and WQA's Bryanna Poczatek, who manages the program. Whether you're a seasoned dealer or new to the industry, this episode is packed with valuable information that you will not want to miss. Plus, we'll have our WQA Tip. It's all coming up on the Water Quality Association podcast. The WQA Business Operations Report is an online interactive business tool for WQA dealer members in the United States, and it's used to analyze and compare a company's business performance with the industry. And we're going to talk about that in the podcast today. We have two special guests. First of all, WQA member Ryan Shanahan is with us from Sharpwater Culligan in the Mid-Atlantic. We'll talk more about Ryan's background in just a bit. But we're also joined by WQA's Bryanna Poczatek, the Technical Affairs Manager at WQA. And Bryanna is in charge of the program and really has her finger on the pulse of all of the particulars, including how you can join in and take part in the program. So let's begin, Bryanna, with you first, and then I'll give a more formal intro of Ryan in just a bit. But welcome to the show, and give us that overview that we need of the program and what's it all about.
Yeah, thanks for having me. The WQA Business Operations Report was really put together due to requests from our members who are looking for more training and tools related to business operations. So this was put together with a group of volunteer experts back in 2019 originally, and we've done a few rounds since then. But this latest round, we had a group of dealers meet throughout 2024 to really dig into this report to look at how do we improve it, how do we make it simpler for dealers to participate, and how do we make sure that we're asking the important questions to really get the data that's valuable to our members. So this latest round that opened this year is new and improved and should hopefully provide a lot of beneficial information for our members.
And you were sharing with me some of that information, things like, for example, we have nearly 100 accounts across 30 states. Those members are participating. We have things that the report shows, such as, for example, the average participating company breaks down their business about 85% residential customers and 15% commercial customers. And the median dealer, the largest percentage of their leads comes from digital sources. So those are just a couple of little tidbits of the kind of information that you can get from the WQA Business Operations Report. And a whole lot more, right, Bryanna?
So there are 5 key areas that the report covers. So you have the company profile, which is looking at things like how big is your company, where are you located, what type of customers are you doing business with. And then we have the financial performance. So we're looking at things like revenue and expenses. We have operations and sales information. So looking at how many water treatment equipment is being sold or um, things of that nature. We have the compensation related area. So, what type of employees is your company hiring and how much are you paying them? And then we're also looking at employee benefits and training. So, what type of PTO are you offering? Are you paying for training? What is your health insurance like and 401k? All those sorts of things. And when we designed these questions, we tried to make sure that it applied for any type of dealer member. So whether you are a very small company, or are you a very large dealership with many locations? So we tried to make sure that this provides valuable information no matter what your size is.
All right. And we mentioned at the start of the program that Ryan Shanahan is with us, WQA member with Sharpwater Culligan in the Mid-Atlantic. And you might recognize the name. He is the nephew of DJ Shanahan, the 2025 Hall of Fame recipient, past WQA president. So, Ryan, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Tell us about your journey in the industry for just a little bit to get started and your background that people would like to know about.
Yeah, so it's been fun. This is actually I graduated from Salisbury University in 2020 and just dove straight in here at Sharpwater Culligan. Um, so I have a major in business management, minor in accounting. And so, as you mentioned, my uncle DJ Shanahan owned the company. It's been a family business since I can remember. I'm actually the third generation. I work with my cousin as well. She's the acting president right now of the company. So it's been pretty cool to get to be a part of that. This is going on my 5th year with the company. I've been a part of a lot of changes here. When I first got here, it was a little bit of a trial by fire. We started implementing a bottling plant that we started building, so I was very involved in the regulation and documentation side of that. There's been a lot of acquisitions and changes that have gone on since I've been here, and every day is a learning experience for me. So,
Excellent. Well, we're talking about this business operations report that Bryanna's been talking about and explaining to us. This benchmarking of data, of information, metrics that water treatment dealers can use to really kind of figure out where they stand within the industry. Are they offering the right kinds of incentives and packages, and are they paying their people about what the market would call for, and those kinds of things? So I assume that as Sharpwater Culligan has been looking at this, that it has been helpful, but I want to hear it from you.
as you mentioned, DJ was a prior president. I believe that was in 2020 and 2021. So WQA has been really important for us, especially when it comes to kind of getting that industry-wide advice and kind of understanding the way that the industry works together. And it's also about, kind of adapting and growing over time. So it's been really great to be plugged into kind of all of those changes that have been going on in the industry.
And the report itself, how did you take advantage of it? How have you been using it?
Yes, it's great. So for me, I'm a little bit more of the financial side. So it's really great to kind of see everything laid out in categories like that. So for me, I look a lot at the expense categories. I'm always really interested in like the marketing side of things. Our name's kind of known in the area, so we're a little bit less focused on it, but it's nice to kind of have that comparison for other companies that might be trying to figure out, how do I get my name out there, things like that. So, and then just as Bryanna was mentioning, it's great to see kind of the compensation side of everything. Are we paying everybody fairly? Do we have the right kind of benefits to bring good assets onto the team?
Yeah, and I would be interested to know what you have found within the report that maybe you hadn't been tracking previously, or that has been useful to you, maybe in ways you wouldn't have known just even a few years ago?
It was good to get a chance to see the breakdown of the different marketing tactics. What was our breakdown as far as, online advertising versus calls versus word of mouth? It's nice to kind of get a chance to summarize that, not even for the report, but just for ourselves, kind of force our hand to say, what are we doing here to get our name out there? Things along those lines of just kind of getting to know the outline of our business and just kind of how are we structured. Again, not even just to compare ourselves with others, but to force us to look at ourselves and say, how are we structured as a company? Is that how we would like to move forward? Things along those lines. And then it's also nice to kind of be able to compare, especially for us and me, especially as a new employee, new to the industry at the time, what, other businesses of our size, are we competing with other companies that are of similar size in a good way? Are we structured well for our size? Are we, again, paying fairly? All sorts of different metrics that are found inside of the report.
Let me pause with you, Ryan, for just a second. Go back to Bryanna to ask: Is this kind of information available anywhere else, or is this pretty much unique and a benefit the WQA can offer its members that they can't find other places?
So this type of information at this level with this many participants, I'm not aware of any other information out there on this. And like I said, we put this together based on requests from our dealer members that were looking for this information. So I think they were already trying to find it elsewhere and not having any success, which is why they turned to us and said, hey, can you help get this information out there? And that's when we put a team together to look at what type of information would be valuable. And that's how this whole report came together. So I'm not aware of anywhere else you can get this type of information. So definitely a great value add for being a member of WQA and taking the time to go in and fill in your information in this report.
We should emphasize, too, that there's no extra cost in this for a WQA member. You do have to be a member, that's for sure, but there isn't any additional fee in that, correct?
Correct. And if you participated in a previous round, like I mentioned, we did this, the last round of this report we did back in 2022, I believe. It is even simpler to participate because there's a feature in the site where you can copy prior year data. So you can click that and it'll populate what you entered in the last round. So if maybe there's some things that haven't changed since the last time, like maybe your benefits have remained the same, you can use that tool to make it really quick and easy to fill it out. And then continuing to participate over subsequent rounds, you can start to see a lot of interesting trends in your own data to see how have I changed, over the years in these different parameters. So definitely some different features there to help you participate.
We should also point out, Bryanna, that, and maybe we didn't properly do this early on in the conversation here, but dealers will enter their data into this online portal, but it's completely run by a third party. WQA is not looking at this data. Nobody else is looking at this data. There's complete privacy and confidentiality. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So when we were putting this report together, we knew that sharing this type of information is, very confidential, and a lot of companies have concerns about sharing this data. So we were very intentional with designing the report to make sure we were covering all our bases. So it's hosted by a third-party vendor. So it's a separate account, a separate login from your WQA membership account. And the site is very secure. No one can see your individual results except who you give access to through your account, as well as a very small group of staff who's running the site, as well as WQA staff who are helping create the reports. And then when the results become published, if you decide to filter down the data to look at a subset, for example, let's say you want to look at data for only dealers of a specific size or in a certain region, there are safeguards built in where you, if it drills down to a certain level, it'll just error out. So there has to be a minimum number of company responses in whatever category you're looking at. So that's just one of the safeguards we built in as well to help companies be more comfortable with sharing this type of data.
Right. So the data gets pooled together, it gets categorized, and then somebody can see the trends, but they can't see the granular data that might apply to an individual company. There's all of that is protected.
Correct.
All right, great. And Ryan, back to you. How much time does this all take? Was this kind of a hassle, or I'm thinking it was fairly easy, but I want to hear it from you.
Yes, there's certainly some details that can be a little bit tricky to get a hold of, but as far as all the mandatory questions, all the things that you need to get the results from the report, it's fairly standard. Revenue data, expense data, head count of employees, things along those lines that are pretty easily accessible for us. I'd say it probably took me 2 to 3 hours once I had all the data collected to actually input everything. So once you see it, it's really not all that intimidating. And I just want to go back to talking about the confidentiality of everything. I think the beauty of this report is that you actually, to get access to the results, you have to fill out a certain amount of those questions. It's not that any WQA member will be able to go on and see that. They themselves have to go and put that data in. So the only people who are able to see this data are the other companies that were willing to put that information out there as well. So I think it's truly like a level playing field on a certain level.
That is a great point. This information is available to the participants, but not to even the membership as a whole, right, Bryanna?
Yeah, so you have to enter your data in order to get the results. Because
Okay.
the way the site and the tool works, it's very individualized. So it wouldn't really make sense to just for any company to come in and pull the reports, right? Because it's really specific to the company's data they're putting in and how they compare to the rest of the industry that participated.
I love it because you benefit by contributing. So there's it's a two-way street. Well, Ryan, let's go back to this whole idea of what you're gaining and what you're getting out of it, and the information that you're seeing and sensing. And let's look at it from the standpoint of what you would tell somebody else, another member, another WQA member. What are they missing out on if they are not participating?
Well, I think it was a really great learning tool for me, especially being new to the industry at the time. This was the perfect way to kind of get in at the ground level. I can see as much or as little data as I want to have access to and pour through. We over here are kind of shifting to a little bit of like a younger, fresher structure. So it's a great tool for us looking forward to be able to kind of introduce all that information to somebody. And just as you were saying before, where this information isn't really available anywhere else. So it's a great way to kind of get access to that information to understand the building blocks of a successful company in this industry.
And Ryan, can you also see this as a strategic tool to look forward in terms of your planning and setting vision for the future?
Oh, absolutely. When you go through these details, you can kind of see where you may be weak, where you may be strong as a company, and you can set goals for yourself to kind of improve in those weak areas. How do I maintain my strength in other areas? All those different details. Like I said, you can be as specific or as vague as you want to be with the responses and with the results primarily, where you can pull the report in any way that you need that kind of focuses in on what you would like to improve. So I definitely see this being a great tool for us moving forward to get to know ourselves and how we play in this industry.
The WQA Business Operations Report, very well stated by both Bryanna and Ryan. Thanks so much for joining us. Bryanna, just briefly, somebody's listening to this, watching this, wants to jump in, maybe even today. What do they do?
So if you go to the WQA website, WQA.org, there is a page for industry reports, and you'll find the Business Operations Report linked there. So if you click on that, it'll give you all the information on how to get signed up. It has an FAQ, has a user guide to help you through, a lot of things you might encounter while you're filling out the report. And anyone with questions can reach out to biztrends@wqa.org, and you can get assistance that way as well.
Terrific. Thank you so much. Ryan, great speaking with you. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Ryan Shanahan with Sharpwater Culligan. And thanks to Bryanna Poczatek with WQA. Thanks, Bryanna.
Thank you.
Our WQA tip, have you checked out the PFAS portal lately? It's on WQA's website. Click on Education and then PFAS portal. You'll find regulatory updates, resources for dealers, a downloadable consumer guide that dealers can use to talk to consumers and answer questions, and a video, 5 things to know about PFAS, plus much more. It's one of the many benefits of WQA membership. Learn more about becoming a member at wqa.org/membership. Thanks for joining us for the Water Quality Association podcast, bringing you the latest news and insights from the association, our members, and outside experts to help you better serve your customer and grow your business. Learn more about water and water filtration at our consumer website, betterwatertoday.org, and learn more about professional certification, product certification, and how you can become a WQA member at WQA.org. Until next time, this is Westbleed. So long from the Water Quality Association.